Good afternoon, Owls. Welcome to today's Day of Caring. For some reason, they let me, Chris Barker, the Director of Athletics, oversee one of these live sessions, which is kind of scary. But I'm really excited about this opportunity, obviously. And what we'll do here is I will have some of our guests introduce themselves. I think that's very important. As you may have seen, some of them probably know who they are. But I'll let them go down the line real quick and introduce themselves.
Sure. Tim Shea, head baseball coach.
Soccer player from Italy.
Cohen, head women's soccer coach, and Kelly Fresnelli's assistant.
I love that. Kelly Fresnelli, I'm the head field hockey coach and senior women administrator.
One of the things that I think is so special about Southern is obviously the people and how long they've been here. So if you could all kind of talk about, how long you've been here, your history with Southern, your degrees, your career aspirations, I think that's very helpful, as we start this discussion today.
Sure. Well, Chris, I'm kind of a lifer here. Undergrad, baseball player. Got my BS here in special education. 11 years as the assistant coach under my mentor, Joe Bandiera. Shout out to Coach B. Great man. And then became the head coach, and this is my 21st year. Also got my master's here in special ed. So dream job and love it here.
Coach is underselling. He's also now known as Mr. 500 as he got his 500th win this past weekend. So kudos to Coach and all the staff and student athletes that are a part of that.
I'm Greta Brunello. I'm a senior. I came from Italy 4 years ago. I study exercise science, and I'm going to do my master in sports psychology here at Southern for next year. I'm going to pursue my career, hopefully, in physical therapy. And it's a great opportunity to be here, and it's great, like being a Southern is a really good community.
Adam Cohen, head women's soccer coach. I started here as an assistant to Tom Lang with the men's soccer program in 2002, and then was fortunate enough to get the head women's coaching position in 2005. And as Coach Shea said, this has been a dream job. Love the Southern community, love working with student athletes, and very fortunate to be here.
I'm just going to say I love listening to Greta speak. I love the accent, and I love being able to communicate with her in the hallways when I see her. So I just going to put that shout out to what a great student athlete she is for us. And I'm going to go right along with Adam and Coach Shea. I'm, I guess, a lifer. I've been here more years than I can probably count at this point, 20-something, 26 years. I will put the shout out to Coach B because I got to share an office with him for a number of years over here in the corner that Adam was in. So it's been for me a real great ride. I'm an undergrad here as a field hockey athlete as well as a track athlete. I got my BS and my master's here in sport management. So again, it's been a university that's been giving back to me. So it's something that I just want to keep doing is giving back to my university.
It's amazing. You talk about philanthropy and what that means. And I think about all of our coaches, especially, these three right here. Again, you're talking almost 60 years of experience here and dedicating everything they do for our student athletes, like Greta, obviously. Talk a little bit about philanthropy and what it's been to your programs, what it's been to you, and the opportunities that's provided, obviously, our talented students like Greta and obviously yourselves.
Well, where we are today couldn't be possible without it. The generous support from parents, alumni, just allows us to do so many more things that our budget just doesn't allow us to do. So without it, I don't think we'd have the success that we've had. And I just appreciate all our former players and parents and that are just so generous and really help us out in terms of what our needs are. A sport like baseball, we take 3 trips, early on to get out of this weather, to get down to nice weather. And that's not possible without fundraising and the generosity of everybody involved in our baseball family. So, I'm very, very grateful.
Yeah, that's amazing. Without the support of the alumni, the people care about Southern, I would not be here. First of all, they helped me a lot through my 4 years, and it's always great to see how they impact the life of student athletes, but also students in general.
Chris, you ask us to compete, not just on the field, but socially and academically as well. And one of the things that that's the financial support does, and then giving does for our program is it allows us to create the holistic program that we want, and it's everything that Chris Barker speaks about. You know, it helps us compete academically and socially as well. You know, I don't think that you know we'd be able to offer the mental performance services that we offer the student athletes if it wasn't for the giving that we receive and the support that we receive from the family. So I think your support is directly reflected in not just success on the field, but also in the classroom and socially.
And I would just add, I think, you know, support for our program in particular, you know, we're reconnecting too with a lot of our alum that, you know, we might not have had connections with that have been supporting us right along that is really important. You know, the giving that they give for us and helping our student athletes in times when they might not have the funds for whatever reason, and I think that's a really important component of what we do for our student athletes. It could be for any reason. It's not just scholarships. It's to help them and their families. And so that support has really been instrumental for not just my program, but for all the programs here. So we really appreciate what our alum do for us.
No, obviously that's great. And, I was on a session yesterday where the question was asked, what separates Southern from other places? Again, I think as a person who's relatively new to Southern, I've seen that impact. I've felt that impact, and it really is the people. So, I think a question that is really important, again, you talk about our culture here within our department, our student athletes, but also our OWL community is, why did you choose Southern, right? And why do you continue to choose Southern is a question that I think is important. So we'll let Coach Frasnelli, we'll come back this way.
Listen, I came to Southern. My undergrad was from Quinnipiac. I did my master's here at Southern and earned a master's degree in exercise science, sports psychology at Southern. But I came from another university. The reason why I came here was because of the people and the championship environment that was created before me. From Bobby Cranian, Ray Reed, Tom Lang, all the people that came before me. And one of the things that I know about what they did is they worked their tails off for the student athletes and to create the best possible environment in every way that they could for them. So that's something that we aspire to do, and we're seeing the rewards from it. And Chris Barker's doing wonderful things now, and all the coaches in the department are doing outstanding work. But it's really all to give back to the student athletes, so they have the experience here that we want to provide. And I just, we have great people that have been here before us that really led the way, so we try to aspire to be the best we can for our student athletes based on what we've seen there.
So when I came from Italy, I didn't know where I was going. I don't know, I was coming here and I spoke with different coaches, and when Coach Cohen invited me on campus, the first step I made on campus, I was like, wow, that's a great community. I love campus. I love how I feel comfortable. I met my teammates. I met some athletic director, staff, and professor, and everything seems great. And I was like, wow, that's a community I will be part in. And so I decided to join Southern, and I'm still here, and I'm going to keep going with my master next year.
Well, for me, it was just opportunities here, and not just baseball opportunities. The first meeting I had with Ray DiFrancesco, former AD, and Coach Bandiera, I could just tell that this was the right fit. And wanting to become a teacher, a special ed teacher, this is a great environment to do that. And the baseball was kind of secondary. And then once I got here, I just didn't want to leave. And I was so grateful to Coach B. 3 years after I graduated, called me back and, here I was again back with this Southern Connecticut family. So, and that's so important to me, and that's what I think all of us try to instill in our players. This family atmosphere. For us, we're brothers, and we fight together, and we cry together, and we win together, and we lose together. But it's all about being a family.
I love it. I love it. You can feel the passion, obviously, when you get to hear these people talk. Obviously, these are Owls, right? This is why we do this. I got a quick update for you. Volleyball just won the noon power hour, I believe it was. And I think our total right now in athletics is over 87,000. We're well over 500,000 as a university. So thank you for that support. We have this group. We got a couple more minutes here, and I want to talk. Coach mentioned something here. We have 5 minutes. Opportunity. We're celebrating 50 years of Title IX here, and one of the things I had an opportunity to talk about at the Celebration of Philanthropy is that we were and we are kind of trailblazers in Title IX in our own right. How has Title IX, I think, shaped all of your experiences? How has opportunities in general shaped your experiences, here at Southern? And just talk about that a little bit quickly if you can.
I'm going to start that one. So I think, I go back to being a student athlete myself and never really feeling that I couldn't do something. I didn't have an opportunity to compete or take part in a program. But I think, as far as where I have evolved, and I guess what we try to do for our student athletes, we're still coming along with what we need to do for our student athletes and giving them opportunities. But I think we've done a tremendous job. The individuals at this institution alone that have come from Southern Connecticut have been high, as far as being instrumental in making that happen for our student athletes here and at Southern Connecticut and evolving us in that manner. I think that's been huge for us and pushed us further along than I think most institutions that don't have those individuals behind them.
Talk about opportunity. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Southern Connecticut and Jim O'Brien starting the women's soccer program in the mid-90s. And that's taken the people in so many different directions. And I think first and foremost about the student athletes. Look, Greta Brunello. I don't know if we've mentioned yet that she recently was awarded the most prestigious, probably the most prestigious award in not just at Southern Connecticut, but the state university system, the Barnard Distinguished Student Award. And that is primarily a service award. So when you talk about opportunity and you talk about Title IX, would we have the opportunity to have a student athlete like Greta here if it wasn't for the opportunities that were provided? And somebody like Greta and so many other student athletes here at Southern has taken that opportunity and look what she's done with it. She's with the Global Brigade. She's been in Ghana and Panama, and that's not even including all the work that she's done around campus here. This is a leader. This is a leader not just at Southern, but she's going to be a leader for the rest of her life, and she's going to carry the Southern Connecticut badge and the owl with her for the rest of her life. So that opportunity, like Coach Kelly said, may not have been here a decade ago, 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago, but Title IX has provided that type of opportunity for that type of leader, and that's what we're doing here at Southern Connecticut.
Yeah, the opportunity was given to me by Coach Cohen 4 years ago, and I'm grateful he did it. He believed in me as a player, but also gave me the opportunity to be the person I am today, studying and become like a leader on campus, and not only, even in the community around the world and in New Haven area. So thank you for the opportunity you gave me, and I'm so happy to be here and maybe inspire other people to do what I was able to do in these 4 years.
Yeah, and I look at some of our facility developments, and recently the softball field getting renovated and a facelift, and these are important things to advance sports in general, but women's sports here at the university. I think it's a great thing, and as Kelly said, there's a ways to go, but we're moving in the right direction, and that's the important piece.
Absolutely. I can't thank this group enough. You all did a fabulous job. And if I didn't articulate it earlier, again, Greta is the Barnard Award winner, and that's a system award that basically picks 4 people throughout the whole entire Connecticut system, it means she's a big deal. But again, when we talk about philanthropy and what Southern Connecticut does, you are a Southern Connecticut owl, right? And you're the type of person we produce, and these people make those dreams come true. And, again, just remember your philanthropy also makes dreams come true, and you really are the wind beneath our wings. So thank you all, for the 4 of you, for joining me today. I think we got a shift change here, and we're going to get a new group in. So go Owls, and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I think it's interesting as we have a little bit of a shifting of the guard here to talk about. Greta is a prime example, and we have a couple coaches here and student athletes coming on next that are also great examples. But, Southern Athletics is always a microcosm of Southern Connecticut in general in terms of the type of student we recruit, the type of person in general we recruit. And being from Italy, obviously, we represent 9 countries, 26 states. Our student demographic, makes up 41% of our students identify as students of color, and we're proud of that. That's something when I think about why I chose Southern and why I think we need to continue to choose Southern and do better and be more. That's a prime example. So I now have some wonderful guests. Again, I will let them introduce themselves because they are very capable. I'll give you a quick update. Athletics now in that short amount of time is now at $91,173, and our total university giving is up to $531,711. So thank you again for your support, your philanthropy. You really make our students and our coaches' dreams come true. With that being said, I'm going to let everyone here introduce themselves, give your name, how long you've been at Southern, if you're an alum, nothing there, but and anything else that you would like to share.
Okay, head volleyball coach Lisa Barbaro. I am a SCSU alum, and I've been here about 20 years.
Jessica Fresley. I was a part of the women's basketball team, and I've been here for 6 years.
Hi, my name is Liv. I'm a junior here. I'm the captain of the women's swimming and diving team.
Hi, I'm Tom Lang, head men's soccer coach, and I've been here 25 years.
It's amazing. And, the last group, I think the total was about 60 years between 3, and we're staying on average here with these, obviously, coaches and our wonderful student athletes. So real quick, I want you all to talk about, what does philanthropy and giving mean, and how have you felt it as a coach or as a student athlete, and things that you've noticed in the athletics department or throughout your time here at Southern.
Well, I think it's a great thing. This Giving Day campaign has been really big for our program. It's allowed for many more scholarship opportunities for our volleyball student athletes, as well as opportunities to go on travel out of region for competitions, as well as purchasing of equipment and apparel and supplies. So it's been a big help to our program, and we're looking forward to a big day.
So being a part of Southern and women's basketball for 6 years, I feel like I've seen kind of a wide range of how Giving Day has helped us. And when we struggled to, not have certain apparel, or when we had to fundraise and reach out to alumni to get our really nice new uniforms. So this Giving Day is really something that matters to us. And as the players, it feels nice to have something new to be able to go out there and perform.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The swimming and diving alumni, especially, big shout out to you guys, are always really supportive, and it's always a lot of fun. We all get competitive. We're all athletes, so Day of Caring always helps us, bond as a community, but also support our program. So it's great.
Yeah, I'd just like to support what everyone else has said. The support from the alumni and the impact that it's had on the program is not something that you can oftentimes really express. It's little things, whether it be scholarship, but even if it's just a piece of an equipment or helping someone get a book that they can't afford. All the different ways it goes to help support our student athletes, that's what it's done for us in the past. And so we're excited about what happens today moving forward. And also, if you don't mind, I'd just like to take this opportunity to just bring up next month there's a dinner for John DeBrito, for all the soccer alums out there that would know that John passed a couple of years ago, and we're doing a huge big dinner fundraiser for him next year. Our goal is to raise about $75,000, and many of the alumni have been very generous. And so those that haven't had an opportunity to get involved, we would just ask if you would be kind enough, if you can't support the dinner, if you would support today's Day of Caring, and then if you can support the dinner in the future, that would be very much appreciated. I know that John's legacy here at Southern is one that will remain forever, and we want to honor that.
No, it's this week, again, you touched on that a little bit, Coach. It's been a tough week. Obviously, we lost the legendary Sam Burrell and also Coach Will Wright. And I think, again, a special part about Southern, as hard as when you talk about loss, is that it's a family, right? And I think for our student athletes to understand that, I know our coaches understand that, and I know our alumni understand that. But again, if you could obviously reach out to those families and give that support, we appreciate it, because that's part of philanthropy and being a part of a family as well. Something I wanted to ask this group, this might be, don't repeat this, I know I'm live, but this might be one of the most competitive groups of people I know in this department. So talk about how you all and your experiences this year, specifically your seasons, and what really was important to you as you all have had success. And obviously Coach too. Coach is part of a couple national championship teams. So just talk about success at Southern and what it means to you all.
Well, success is really important, obviously, to me and to our program. We had a great year this year. Again, we just try to, focus that in on our, hard work and our dedication, not only in the classroom but on the court. We, are always out there, with our recruiting too, and we have probably one of the biggest recruiting classes across the country, which has been great as far as like our diversity and stuff as our, within our team. Success. That carries across. Same thing with Giving Day. We really put a pretty big effort in kind of reaching out. And I wanted to add to the question before. It's not even so much about making this day about like giving money, receiving money. It's a great opportunity too for us to reconnect with our alumni. I mean, success comes from that start of that foundation and the ones that came before us. And a lot of our alum have really set that foundation, at least for our program, to continue to grow and be successful. So it's been really great in the past few days to be able to connect with some alum, talk. It's been great to have our current student athletes be able to connect also with alum, family, and friends, and just kind of keep everybody connected, because that's really the team behind the team that continues to make Southern thrive. So,
yeah, to jump off of that, the word connection and what Day of Caring. With our program with women's basketball, we, right as COVID hit in March of 2020, we kind of dedicated ourselves, and we had only 6 girls, to creating this whole new culture and this whole new mission statement. And the main thing behind that is caring about one another and creating a connection and staying connected with our alumni. And we stuck through that, and we recruited people who bought into that culture. And then this year it came to life on the court. And even though we had our down and our losing streak, we were able to get through that and make it to the semifinals and have success that we wouldn't have had without that caring and that family culture that Southern really brings, and that we really dedicated ourselves and our time and our effort to making sure that we understood that, and the people who came after we made this mission statement understood that also, and hoping that they continue that legacy.
Yeah, swimming and diving had a really exciting season this year. We had a double championship with the NE10 conference, so that was great. It was a really, really cool year. I mean, from the very first captain's practice, we set the goal for the championship, and we reminded ourselves every single day and to keep that goal in mind and finally accomplish it. It was absolutely amazing. So that was great, and to build off the connection and even the Title IX that the previous group discussed, being from the women's swimming and diving team, it was the most empowering group of young ladies that I've ever been surrounded with. So that was really cool, and definitely something to note. So it's been an amazing year, and I can't wait for the next one.
What's really hard is when I sit here, I'm the last one to go. Everybody uses up all the good stuff, and now I'm sitting here struggling to try to find answers to things. And Listen, I think when it comes to when you get to my age, you reflect a little bit in the length of time that I've been here on what measures success. Obviously, the soccer program here has been measured its success in national championships, but I don't think it's always all about that. I think a lot of the things that have been brought up here previously about the connection of people and the family and that type of thing, and the fact that they're interacting with each other and communicating with each other. And those are the things that really, help measure success. Obviously, championships, winning titles. That's why we get in this business, because we're competitive and athletes are competitive and they want to win. And I understand that and I get that. But I just think, a little bit older, my definition of success is very different now than what it was. It's a little bit more holistic now than maybe in the beginning. It was just all about wins and losses. So I just kind of keeping that in perspective. So because they use up all the good answers over here.
I know there's a lot of talent in this room right now, Coach. I agree. A quick little fact. So the men's, women's, and women's swimming and diving. Sorry, that was a tongue tire right there. They actually each have 14 conference championships on each side, which again, you talk about, equitable and having those opportunities. It's amazing. And another fun fact, Sandy Meyerson is a former swimmer here, a former student athlete. She's donating and doing a lead matching gift for $50,000 to the Women's in Sports Fund and naming it after Carolyn Vanacore. So again, I talk about Southern being a trailblazer and being at the forefront of this, with Title IX, but more so again with opportunity. Like you all are reaping those benefits, as men and women here at Southern. We have about 5 minutes left, so I'm going to get a couple quick hitters in here. So why did you choose Southern, and why do you continue to choose Southern? And I would ask this just because of the student athletes too. What's your dream job? And I know you two are living it. So what's your dream job and your career aspirations?
Well, for me, why I chose Southern is, really it's been all about the people and the relationships formed here on campus. As a student, the professors have been great here in kind of guiding me. I think the relationships formed with my teammates also was a factor, and then having that opportunity to come back and give back to a university that's given me so much, and to be able to impact student athletes' lives is huge. So I've just like you said, this is my dream job. I've enjoyed it. I've had an opportunity to be a head coach of two programs here and watch both of them build them up from the ground up and watch them grow, and I'm just so proud to be a part of that and proud to be part of this community. So
if you asked me this question 6 years ago, I think I would have had a very different answer, that I chose Southern for the opportunity to play college basketball and the education program. And I think 6 years later, Southern is what you make it. So I've had the opportunity to not only be a student athlete, and I joke that I've lived 6 year lives here, right? 6 completely different teams, different scenarios, different obstacles, but outside of the court, Southern is just so much more. And I was a part of the Council for Exceptional Children, and now I'm going into special ed, which is my dream job, to be a special ed teacher, and I'm working in the assistive technology program now, and just getting so many opportunities and being so connected with the professors and the department and just everything Southern has to offer. It really is what you make it. And you can stay within the athletic program and you'll still have a great time, but outside of it, there's just so much more. And I think Southern as a whole has just become a special part in my heart, because it's not just about basketball.
It's really funny. So I'm a tour guide on campus, and I say the exact same thing at the end of all of my tours, is that it is what you make it. I chose Southern because when I was looking at schools, I would talk to the students, the student athletes, and I could just tell that this home is going to be a community that was going to support me through my best times, my worst, and that's exactly what they've done. And I definitely no regrets there. I'm an education major, so right now the dream job is English teacher. However, I would love to come back and coach at Southern one day. So fingers crossed on that.
Coach Cool and Coach Moran better look out. Oh boy, here we go.
So I've been at 4 different institutions. This has been my dream job for the past 25 years. I've had an opportunity to work with some remarkable people. my peers in the coaching profession, but also, from faculty members, athletic trainers, people behind the scenes, our support personnel out here, the administrative assistants and so on. And it's just the people around here that have made this such a wonderful place to come and be a part of. As far as my dream job in the future, I already have that. My dream job is to be the best grandfather I could be to my 2 grandsons. So there we go. So that's my dream job moving forward.
I love it.
We didn't give that one up.
What's that?
We didn't.
Yeah, no, finally I got to say something original and unique. That's right.
I love it. That's amazing. I think we probably are short on time here, but if you all real quick give us your 30-second best memory of Southern. There's a lot of good memories at this table. I know that. Coach Lang, why don't you start it? You've got a lot to pick from, right?
Yeah, there's an awful lot to pick from. I don't know that I can pick out one. I would say, obviously, from a coaching perspective, winning the back-to-back national championships and specifically having an undefeated season, which had never happened here before at Southern Connecticut, would be up there as far as from a coaching perspective.
It'd definitely be easy to choose the 2 championships that I've been a part of. However, for those of you who are familiar with swimming, one of my favorite memories is my first college meet. Coach Quill made me swim the 400 butterfly, which isn't even an event. So it was evil and cruel, and I thought I was going to die, but I laugh at it now. So
I would say I have 2 quick ones. Going to the NCAA tournament in 2018 was definitely a peak just to have that opportunity. And then this past year when we beat the number 1 team in the region to go to semifinals, you just can't reenact that feeling. So.
Yeah, it's hard to pick just one. So I'm going to go with 2 because I coach 2 sports here.
Yep.
So I'm going to say, obviously being able to win a NCAA Super Regional and being able to advance to the College World Series in softball in 2012. And then, of course, winning our first ever Northeast 10 Conference Championship with the women's volleyball program in 2018. Those are going to be my 2.
I'd say as a student athlete, sitting in those bleachers would definitely be up there also.
Yeah,
at New Haven.
Good. Yeah.
I love it.
And meeting me is one of those.
Oh yeah, you're
Coach
right.
Lang.
I already said there's too many to mention.
I love it. Well, I can't thank all of you enough. You did a fantastic job. And you really are Southern. It's why we're all here, you 2 specifically. But I hope that we've made your dreams come true, and hopefully you can then articulate to the next batch of Owls. So that's what we do here. So thank you, and everyone have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, I think as we go through this transition, you talk about a Southern student, and what is an Owl. And really, we are defined by our past, and, it creates pride, obviously, through success. But the students that you're hearing from, the coaches that you're hearing from, really, really special. We should never take it for granted. But again, when you talk about philanthropy, your time, obviously your support, it all goes back to them, which is amazing. And you see it and you're hearing it firsthand as obviously we have our next batch of guests here. And again, I will let you all introduce yourselves, your year, obviously, or how many years you've been here. And we'll go from there. Maybe your major too.
My name's Izzy Newberry. I'm a sophomore, and my major is psychology.
21 and a half years almost, and then 4 as an undergrad. My major was history and secondary ed.
I love it. I love it. Real quick here, why did you all choose to come to Southern, and why do you continue to come to Southern every day? Because you both have that choice, right? You could stop coming here any day, and you could stop working here if you wanted, right? So articulate that for everyone real quick.
I chose Southern mainly because I love the family atmosphere that is. Everyone here treats each other like family. It's like I'm on the track team, so all the girls I run with, they're practically my sisters, and all the guys I run with, they're practically all my brothers. So it's just really nice to have a family away from actual family.
You might not know or know, but we almost driving up and down from Massachusetts, 75 miles one way. Just when the job opened up, I was fortunate enough, Rich Kavanaugh said that there might be some movement here, and I was fortunate to come down with a lot of great candidates for the job and get it, and just really love the place, and there's a lot of great things going on.
No, it's amazing. Real quick, again, you talk about great things going on. In the last 30 minutes already, we started at 6,000, and now we're already up to $92,693 in support, and the university support is up to $537 and $626. So it's amazing. Again, you talk about philanthropy in this OWL community and what we do here. So, Izzy, why don't you talk about your experience here as a student athlete and things that you've noticed? Again, philanthropy has been able to give you that nice chair that you're sitting in, right? That's a part of it too, but talk about the things you've noticed as a student, and Coach, talk about the things you've noticed as a coach and as a staff member here.
As a student, I've noticed a lot of help from faculty and from teammates, basically everyone. I thought at first coming here, being a student athlete would be kind of scary because, the college extensive education and then college extensive athletics, I thought it was going to be very demanding and that I was going to be on my own for a good portion of it, but that wasn't the case at all. There's mass amounts of support on the academic and the athletic side, so I'm super thankful for that.
To promote the welfare of others, really, as you look, there's so many alumni involved. We have the 2 matches on the designation board there, and one is just for the program, but you can see that the guys have given back, that have played here and are coming back and making contributions so that the players that are benefited from it now, hopefully, that cycle will just keep continuing in the future and have this keep growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, no, I love the feedback. One of the things we talk about, again, about philanthropy. So, Izzy, I ran into you the other day, and we were talking about the equipment room / now new fueling station, which, again, you talk about support came from one of our generous alumni and donor supporters. So talk about what the fueling station means to your program. Obviously, the Tierney family supported us with that. Talk about that real quick and what it does and what it provides you as a student athlete and what it provides you as a coach.
I'm also super lucky because I also work in the equipment room, so I get to provide drinks to athletes, super fun. So it's just really nice to have a station to go to after practice. You're tired, you need to refuel before lift, refuel before class. It's just very convenient, and there's some very good options there as well.
We know you're part of that, so we got to thank you very much for getting highly involved in that. But the athletes really deserve that, just that extra boost of energy, what they're trying to accomplish in the weight room, and then, having that fuel to start the day. Maybe they're not getting to food until an hour or 2 after that moment and stuff. So just, again, big thing right there, food insecurity in college. Some people might not be eating anything before that workout too. So there's all sorts of factors that are in there for sure.
Yeah, no, again, we talk about listening to our students' voice and what this day means and how it really, again, supports everyone. Specifically, Coach, I'm looking at the fan support, and your program has jumped up significantly, obviously, today. Do you want to talk about what the fan has meant to you? And then I'll go to Izzy for the next question.
It's an emotional day, to be totally honest with you. This started 6-7 years ago with a large group of alums from the late to mid 60s, and it's just continuing to blossom more and more every year. More and more new names are showing up on there. More commitments are staying steady. If you can help, great. Every little bit will help the cause and stuff. We know some people have means that can, take care of a large gap, and some people can't. But just get yourself on there. Just get yourself back in the program. That's really it's an impressive number, and we thank you so much.
No, that group and all the leadership, across the board has been fantastic. I talk about giving back. Izzy, what has it meant to you as a student athlete to see we have alums that coach in our program? Obviously, the Jim Barber Will Write Invitational. I mean, there's people that are just around. I was at the track meet this weekend, right, and I met Jack Maloney. Like, all these people, what does it mean to you as a student to be able to see this past success here and how it's impacted you?
It really shows that even when you do leave the school, you can still continue to make such a huge impact. It's really incredible to me because at first, when I first joined, I weren't sure why all these meets that I were running at were named after people. But after learning more information and learning how they've developed our program and made it 10 times better than what it was in the past, it's just really inspirational to know that I can still make an impact when I'm not here.
It's amazing. It really is. Again, we're talking a lot about the celebration of Title IX, and really Title IX isn't just athletics. It's really about opportunity, right? So talk about, opportunity for you at Southern as a student, as a coach. What does that mean to you, obviously? And I think also, what is your dream job? And how do we help you get there? Or how do we help you continue to be in your dream job? I'm making an assumption there, but it's a fair one, I think.
Being at Southern as a student and all of this, I don't know, it's a lot, but I'm super glad. It's my dream job. I want to be a sports psychologist. So sports has had a huge impact on my life. It's been something I've done every day after school, before work, early in the morning, something I always look forward to. I always tell my friends that when I'm upset, the one thing I look forward to every single day is going to practice because the environment is just so healthy and so refreshing. So I definitely want to stay in sports for the rest of my life, hopefully.
The student athletes here, it's such great success, great personalities, such just wonderful people to be around, and just seeing them in action and seeing them in the weight room and the track and out on the fields, in the pool, all those spots. It's just a great place. And, they appreciate everything that's going on. And we know it's not perfect at times, and we don't pretend it to be either, and we just want to make it the best that we can. And thank you for rehiring me again after one of your first hires as a new AD, as this contract came up in the summertime. And, we're here to put the football team back on top of the Northeast 10.
Again, it's amazing. We have about 5 minutes left here. I want to talk because, again, you talk about athletics, and we're a big part of creating pride for the university, and really it's this holistic approach. What does it mean to you all to see the new School of Business being built, Health and Human Services obviously being built? Dean Bulmer's doing a fantastic job over there. What does that mean to you all? And that will impact you, by the way, if you want to be in sports psychology someday.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you to see all these buildings and all this support from President Joe coming around the campus?
The support is insane. I'm just super happy that we're given the opportunity to have a lot more resources provided to us as students, because not only will that impact us here, but it'll also attract even more students to come here and expand on all these programs.
When you go on a tour with the recruits, oh my God, all of a sudden the people that step foot on campus or may have not been here as alums in a little while, it's an impressive looking place. And there was business at one time, but now there's business school here. It was kind of like an afterthought. Now it is certainly not at all right now. And it's the feedback from all parents and recruits coming on is incredible.
No, it's amazing. I've heard this, a little bit too. We were, I think, named as maybe a second choice school or labeled as a commuter school. But I'm here to tell you, again, someone who came, 1,400 miles across the country, moved my pregnant wife and my dog and my son here. This is not a second choice for me. This is a first choice. I know for everyone sitting in this room and everyone watching, probably this is a first choice. But we really need to make sure that we understand that and articulate that, because it's a special place, and we aren't a second choice. We're a first choice for a lot of people, and we really make dreams come true. And we have a short, real quick here, we have another one, maybe the fastest man in the Northeast right now, just jumped onto this screen. It was like a blur. You probably didn't even see him. But Nigel, let's have you introduce yourself real quick, talk about a little bit of your credentials, and we'll go from there.
Nigel Green, senior here at Southern Connecticut State University. I have broken the national record in the 300-meter dash, also on the facility record at Boston University. I hold the school record in the 100-meter and the 200-meter indoors and outdoors, looking to accomplish more than that as well, too.
Again, this isn't a second chance you. This is a place where primetime student athletes come, high-achieving students in general, and faculty and staff as well. Nigel, why don't you real quick tell, obviously, our audience, why'd you choose Southern and what's your dream?
Southern was a place where I felt like I could grow not only as a student but also as a person and as a man. So it's a great community here. There's a lot of diversity here on campus as well as such too. So my dream is to become an Olympic champion, but also to advocate for passenger rail in the United States. So I want to be the face of track and the face of American railroads. So I think if you put the two together, I run fast, I run on the track. I think it goes together very well. So that's the dream.
We'll keep this one on the tracks here, no pun intended. Nigel, you're one of, again, amazing student athletes like Izzy. Real quick, because we're getting down here to the wire here, tell us your favorite Southern moment, or I guess you would say memory, and I would say any advice you would have for future Owls.
I'd say my favorite Southern moment is probably also one of my most embarrassing Southern moments, just because it's something I'll never forget. So I run the 100 hurdles, and my first ever race for Southern, I was going over the last hurdle and I fell. And it was funny, but at the same time embarrassing. But at the same time, it was awesome to see the support from my coaches and my teammates. And they're like, hey, don't worry about it. You're a freshman. It's okay. You learn and you grow. So that was really nice. And one piece of advice that I'd give for someone coming to Southern is get as involved as you possibly can. Because personally, when I came, it was hard because COVID was at its peak. So when I became involved with track, it made it super easy to have fun, meet new people, and just make great friends and great memories.
I mean, there's a great point, honestly. There's a little bit of everything for everyone here at Southern, really. That's really the main gist of it for the future Owls. Just in general, just the people that have come across, whether former players or teammates, coaches, just the memories are just endless, and I'm very grateful for those moments.
My favorite moment here was when I had first broken the 300-meter national record back in 2019. So the amount of support that I received from the community and everything made me feel at home. So, and I definitely look to see it for the future Owls that come in here. You can be anything that you want in life. People will have you back here, and you can accomplish anything if you put your mind to it.
Amazing. I can't thank you all enough for jumping on here today. I appreciate your time, and everyone, again, these are just another great example, all these students and staff, of what Southern is, who Southern is, and who we produce. So thank you again, and we'll let you get out of here. Appreciate it. Go practice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Go Owls. Again, I know this last and final group that's coming on here, we also have, again, a few heavy hitters, but really this group, I think, will be able to articulate, the power of Southern, who we are, where we go to. So I know they're going to mosey their way over here, but again, you talk about a Southern gift and what it means. So this year specifically, Lou Giaquinto, we can't thank you enough for your support. We were able to create the first ever Athletic Directors Networking event on May 2nd, where we're going to be able to bring back alumni and supporters to really learn about our student athletes, but more so for our student athletes to learn from them. I think I talk about being a dream maker in general, and part of being a dream maker is showing our students who they can become. And your alumni support, that's philanthropy as well. So if you're interested in that event, feel free to reach out to myself or anyone in the alumni office. They obviously be willing to help. With that being said, again, 3 more rock stars. I think they say they leave the best for last. Is that what they say here? So I will let them all introduce themselves, your year in school, or years you've been here, or year you graduated, and your major.
Hi, my name is Bailey Takis. I'm a senior. I'm business administration major. I'm going to be graduating this May, but I am returning back to Southern to earn my MBA and play my COVID year of lacrosse.
Hi, I'm Liz DeRosa. I'm a senior on the softball team. I'm an outfielder from Hudson, New Hampshire, and my major is exercise science. Next year, I will not be coming back to Southern. I'm going on to PT school. And yeah.
Hi, my name is Byron Knox, and I am the women's gymnastics coach. This is my 3rd time back. First as an athlete back in the 70s and graduated in 81. Then again for the men's assistant coach, now I'm the women's head coach here at the university.
Again, some heavy hitters here. We're going to jump real quick here because, again, we talk about Sandy Myerson's support, obviously, of women's athletics especially, and you all got to meet Carolyn Vanacore last week. Why don't you all talk about opportunity here at Southern, specifically for student athletes, female student athletes, but Coach, what has it meant to you? Obviously, you were an athlete here, a student athlete during the Title IX years, the inception of it. What has it meant to you as a student? What has it meant to you as a coach? Just as a person in general, what has Title IX meant to you?
Well, I tell you, when I started, it was a lot of the rules are in place now that didn't apply back then, but now I think it's all beneficial for all the student athletes, women in particular. Being the women's head coach, I think that the support that we're getting here from Southern is closer to the best. Our challenges are always things that are out of our control, but I think that we're on the right path to doing good things here at the university.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I've never had any bad experiences, so that's always good. We do a lot just to make sure that it's known across campus. I know it's basically been since, I guess, my freshman year that we've done Women in Sports Day, where we've included a lot of the community around us to come and join us for all of the female athletes, do a little, like, tour of all the different sports and get to try little skills and drills out. So that's always a really fun day for us, but yeah, it's just great to that Carolyn Vancourt event the other day was awesome. It was so nice to hear her story and just to see how far Southern and just, the states in general have come.
Yeah, basically what Bailey said, but also our coaches do a great job of just like reinforcing all that information and making sure that it's always known and it's always talked about, because I feel like a lot of times it's kind of skipped on, and I feel like it's really important to be involved and know everything that's going on within the athletics community.
Yeah. I think President Joe and Dr. Tyree do a really good job, I think, instilling this thrive, matter, and succeed notion. Coach, talk about how philanthropy has impacted you, here at Southern specifically in those, I would say, 3 areas, with your student athletes as a coach, and then also you as student athletes. How have you felt that, obviously with alumni coming back and just being around and giving as well? We'll start with Coach.
Well, I think it's important, and those who have been through the program understands more about what's going on than maybe somebody on the outside. Those dollars that are donated to the school really help. I know that myself in particular, I'm always looking for those athletes that have potential, and a lot of times college coaches aren't looking for kids with potential. They're looking for kids with a skill set. Potential hasn't happened yet, so my eye is keened on giving those kids that opportunity. And those dollars that are contributed will help me provide those for those athletes. So that's very, very important.
Yeah, for me personally, we always go on a Florida trip every spring break, and so that money does help us out because we don't really ever have to pay for anything, as well as clothes and sneakers and stuff like that. We want to look good when we travel, so it's nice.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Liz. It's crazy how much a little donation can go, like how far it can go in our program, whether it's, a team bonding event that's so important, outside of the sport, or going out to dinner after a meal when you're traveling, or we actually just went on my first trip since being at Southern, spring break, which was so fun. It's one of those memories, like a core memory that you'll just have forever. So it's really like you get speechless when you think about like donations, especially from like alumni that just want to be a part of it still. They want to help their teammates or people that they never even stepped on the field with. So it always makes you like really think how much love there is in the program.
Absolutely. You talk about return on investment, and Coach is going to talk, but if you didn't get a chance, gymnastics, we're on the rise again. I know we had a couple of student athletes make it to the finals. I think it was 11 or 13. What was it, Coach?
We actually had 13 athletes qualify, filling 15 spots, which was another record to the league. So, those dollars that are donated will help provide. I mean, let's face it, we had a record-setting year this year in terms of performing, but more importantly, the number of student athletes that we had on our team. I mean, 23 freshmen coming in and having 38 kids on the team, that says a lot for the support that we're getting here at the university and the dollars that were raised. So we're really, really happy.
I think, this is a great group to touch on, too. Academically, what does it mean for you all? Why'd you choose Southern academically, Coach, when you were a student, but also as a coach, how do you talk about that, and what is the support like around our academics? Because we aren't a second chance university, right? This is a first choice, and it should be for everyone, right?
You guys want to start?
Yeah, I'll go. So I chose Southern. Definitely lacrosse had a big part of it, but it was a good distance away from home, about 2.5 hours. So definitely nice to be able to have my family come up and watch games and, be able to visit when needed. I loved the School of Business, the one that's up right now. When I got to tour it, because I'm a business major, obviously. When I got to tour it, I fell in love. The stock room got me so excited. Not that I want anything to do with stocks, but it was just so cool to see all the different opportunities that are available to students on campus and especially athletes. That when I got to talk to my coach, it was kind of like, all right, where do I sign, kind of thing. So definitely helped that the team was so welcoming when I got here, and the experience, my overnight visit was memorable and just made me want to decide.
And before our other two guests chime in here, something that Bailey always seems to put away, but it's very important. Again, you talk about Owls supporting Owls. Bailey's father was a student athlete here, and her older sister also was a student athlete here. And I see that. I run into that all the time. Again, people like Coach who went here and now work here again. So that's part of your culture, too, and it's all driven around people. But go ahead, Liz. We'll let you go.
Yeah. When I was looking at schools, I definitely wanted kind of a bigger school, but I also wanted to play softball, so that was kind of a key factor in Southern. They have a great exercise science program, and I knew that I would have everything here that I would need to be able to go on to PT school. And then my coaches were awesome during the recruiting process. It just drew me here, and I'm so glad that I chose this school.
Good. Well, let me tell you, it seems so long ago, but for me, the drive for me, and I started gymnastics my second year in high school, so it made it a little bit different. We had the Olympic coach, so that in itself was the draw. But after getting here, I realized that, wait a minute, I got to really be good in school because there's this eligibility thing. So, school then became more of a priority. And setting records here at the school, in terms of athletics was important. But I think that what I try to instill in my athletes that academics is their number one priority. And having 28 scholar athletes on the team says a lot for what we're doing in the program now. So we're moving forward with that.
Yeah, I love that. Obviously Bailey, Liz, and coach's team, on all of our student athletes of the 500, we average out over a 3.0, which is nothing to sniff at, right? That's very impressive, and it's a testament to our coaches, a testament to our student athletes, obviously, and your all's dedication. So, quick update here. We are now at athletics is over $94,000, raised today, and the university is at $543,656. We have 5 minutes here. I want to talk about, because again, you talk about one of the things that it really drives Southern, right? President Berlino does a great job in leading this and making sure that there's equity and opportunity. What does it mean to all of you, to be at a place that really does believe in social justice and lives it every day?
I think it's super important to stress that. There's also a girl on my team, Jasmine Martinez, who really speaks out and fills us in about all the important stuff that's going on with that, because a lot of the times, like I said before, sometimes that gets missed. I think Southern does a really good job with that, and they give a ton of opportunities for everyone.
Yeah, definitely going off of that. I recently had the opportunity with Jasmine to kind of spearhead the Athletes Fighting Injustice program that we have on campus that was new. I think 2020 over COVID. We actually kind of started it when we were all home at COVID, which was really cool. It really was just a place that athletes can go and talk about different experiences that they had, or just, their feelings on today's news or anything like that. But like Liz said, definitely important, and I think our school does a great job to address those manners in like such a graceful way, and to give those opportunities for students and especially athletes to learn and take part and, really have a voice on campus.
Well said. Well said. I sit on the diversity board, and I get a chance to hear some of the concerns and interests that the student athletes do have on campus, and not always student athletes, but it's just general students in particular. So I think it's important that, let's face it, Southern is a diverse school. We have diversity all around us. And then at Southern, I feel that it's more embraced and more supported than most universities. And I've been at other universities before, and I have friends there and other coaches in other universities. But I think that Southern provides an opportunity for those athletes and those students to speak their mind, and then it's accepted.
No, again, it's amazing. You talk about your return on investment and just what philanthropy does here at Southern, and it is true, right? We bring in a diverse population, and we help them achieve their dreams. So, we can't thank you enough for that. As we get into we have about probably 2 minutes left with this group. What would be the advice that you would give to the next generation of Owls?
I could start. I would definitely recommend getting as involved as possible and really grow your network. Everyone says networking is such an important part, and I'm not just speaking just for business majors. I'm speaking for everyone. Networking, even with your coaches or administration, it's so important to grow those relationships. Even just if you have a problem on campus, just to go to someone, have a mentor. someone that you can always go to with those questions, that because you're away from home most likely for the first time. So it's really nice to always know that you have people in your corner.
Yeah, I would just say make the most of it. 4 years flew by so quickly, but I mean, I've made awesome friends and I've had the best memories. And I think softball has really helped me meet all these people. So yeah, just make the most of every moment.
And I would say, be you. And you're going to get all the support that's needed here at Southern. And I feel that, maybe speaking to people, not always texting, pick up the phone, make a phone call, do a face-to-face. I think that's very, very important. So come to school prepared and ready to work, because you will be challenged here at Southern.
I love it. I love it. Be more, do more at Southern, right? That's part of it. I can't thank this group enough. As always, we've had a fantastic time today. At least I have. That's usually, I'm the one laughing at all my jokes always. But you all were phenomenal. Thank you for joining today. And I just wanted to close up here, obviously, as we wrap this up. Just in this hour alone, we started at $87,000, and we are now over $94,000 in support. And the university is now up to $545,000 in support. So kudos to you. And more importantly, thank you. Again, you talk about gratitude, and we couldn't do it without you, and we couldn't make our students' dreams come true without you. So thank you for all you do, and go Owls.